Hi, my name's Jamie McIntyre from 21st Century Education, and welcome today. We're lucky to be joined by an internet guru by the name of Armin Morin, one of my personal mentors as well on the internet, all the way from the United States of America. Welcome, Armin.
Thank you very much for having me here.
You're welcome. First of all, many people at home watching this might be curious and it may never started on the internet.
Sure.
Or even wondering, is it actually possible for the average person to make money on the internet today?
You know, it's a really good question because a lot of people wonder, is the internet even viable today? Because it's been around since basically 1994 in the form that we know it now.
Yeah.
But the fact is that the internet now is more viable than it has been really in the history of the internet. And here's the reason why, is because number one, knowledge. We know now what works on the internet and what doesn't work on the internet. We know that basically the internet's about creating human nature and catering to human nature. So it's about really two things. It's really about human nature, which is basically psychology.
Yep.
And number two, math. If you can understand some very basic math principles, then you can make money on the internet. And again, the basic premise is this, is that if you know how many people come to a website, let's say 100 people came to a website, how many people out of 100 people buy your product? And let's say one person bought the product, so that would be a 1% conversion. Now, that's fairly good, but it can get better than that. But what many people need to understand is that on the internet, the average site on the internet overall actually converts at only a 0.5%.
Wow.
According to a lot of research and research study. But now, there's even better hope for many people listening and watching right now, and that is the average direct response website on the internet converts at an average of about 3%.
Wow, yeah.
Because we're not like Amazon where we have, 100,000, 200,000 products. What we have one website where we're marketing one product at one time, and therefore it's easy for people to make a decision. Because the general rule when you're selling something, whether it be one-to-one or face-to-face, just like we're talking right now, is that the more options that you give a person, the less likely they are to make a decision because they're confused. And the saying goes, a confused mind does not buy.
Exactly.
So it is possible for people to make more money now than it ever has been in the history of the internet. And also the fact is that because it's so simple for them to do this, and they have people that have gone before them, like myself and yourself and many of the other people that are out there, they can learn from the mistakes that we made, and they can learn from the things that we're doing now in order to make money even easier.
So I guess, people might be thinking, what sort of incomes have you seen people make on the internet?
Okay, well, here's some good examples of that. I have a friend of mine, he actually sells a video on the internet, a very simple video on how to tie a tie.
You're kidding.
Now, this is something that many people would probably think is kind of silly to sell.
Well, actually, I probably need that video because I struggle with doing it.
Well, one of the things that, if it was how to tie a bow tie,
Yeah.
now I would definitely get that one. Not that I even wear a bow tie, but I'd want it anyway.
Yeah.
The fact is that he sells this video on how to tie a bow tie for literally like $12. Now, here's the great part. A video on how to tie a bow tie for $12 or so. What he does is he sells about $8,000 worth of this product every single month.
Wow.
Now, off one single video. I have another customer who does many different things. Number one, they have a book on scrapbooking, and they make about $3,000 a month selling an ebook on scrapbooking. And that's a very simple process.
So for the average person, that's almost enough to replace their income for many people.
Yeah, think about it. Obviously the income for many people varies from some people wanting to make maybe an extra $2,000, $3,000 a month, and maybe that's currently what they make at their job. For some people, maybe they make a little bit more money, and they may require maybe $5,000, $10,000 a month. So it's very easily attainable in order to replace that income within a relatively short period of time. Now, the one thing I have to warn people about the internet is it's not overnight. And what I mean by not overnight is that you're not going to start today and then tomorrow you're going to have all this money flooding into your account. Yeah. It just doesn't work that way.
It's not a get-rich-quick thing, but it is possible.
It's definitely possible, because it takes some time to set it up. You need some basic elements such as a website. And you don't have to do it yourself. You don't have to be a technical guru. You don't have to have all this technical design.
Because I think that's
skill.
a fear that a lot of people have, is that for myself, I have no idea about computers, yet I was able to become very successful online.
Sure.
So what do you think is the key skills? A lot of people are afraid, I don't know about computers, I'm not a computer geek. Does that prevent them from making money on the internet?
Well, it does. It really does for most people, because if they don't know the inside strategy as far as how to get this stuff accomplished. Let me give you an example. It all really boils down to what the internet is. Everyone has gone to a website and it says www to start off, and that stands for World Wide Web. Now, the reason why that's important is because of one simple thing, is that no matter what we want done, we can get it done by someone else somewhere in the world. So let's think about this. If we want a website designed, if you go down to your local university or your local newspaper or your Yellow Book pages, you're going to find that people locally are probably going to want $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 or more to create a website for you. But I can go to a place like a site called Rent-A-Coder online, just like it sounds like, rentacoder.com, and I can find people that would do work for me for literally next to nothing. In fact, I could have a website designed for about $20.
Wow.
Now that idea of me having to do it myself, I can say to this person, and it's kind of an auction the way it works, is that I say I have $20 and I need a website done, and here's an example of what I want created. So it's very simple, so everyone can do that so far. And then it goes up for an auction, except it's a reverse auction. Now, like eBay, many people are familiar with the eBay auction model where a person bids on a product, and every time that someone else bids, it's a higher and higher price. Well, this is called a reverse auction. So let's say I have $20 that I'm willing to work with, that I can spare.
That's your budget, yeah.
Exactly. Now, the next person that comes in says, well, this coder, this programmer comes in and says, I can do it for $18.
Wow.
And the next person says, no, I can do it for $16. Next person comes in and says, no, I can do it, but I'll do it for $15. And so what they'll do is they'll bid on your project, but it's bidding lower and lower, so the customer actually wins. And that's the great part about this.
Well, that would be exciting because a lot of people are thinking, a traditional business, you need a lot of capital to get started. You've got a lot of risk, you've got staff and overhead.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't have capital to get started in business. So you're suggesting the internet can effectively come over all those obstacles of traditional business.
Exactly. I mean, let me give you another example. I mean, this is one of the first websites I ever did. One of the products I first created when I got online was a book, it was an ebook. And it was how to take credit cards on the internet.
Wow.
And so I put all this information. I found that there's 80 different ways that you could accept a credit card on the internet without having to get a merchant account. So I thought that was pretty cool. But as I started researching this, I found out that a lot of other people also wanted to know this information. So what I did was I put this into an ebook and I started selling it online. Now that one product, first of all, I started it on a free hosting account. So I didn't pay for my hosting account. I paid for my domain name, which was about $25 at that time a year. It's only $10 now. Actually, you can get it down to $8. But now, so I had a free hosting account. I had my domain name, it was $25, and that website for 8 years made over $25,000 a year.
Wow, it's incredible.
So off a single ebook that I sold for $19.95 online.
So literally, it's not a lack of capital, it's the stopping people. It's what's preventing people then, I guess, from going out there, launching an internet career?
It's a lack of knowledge. They don't see the opportunity, they've never seen it. Because if we had to name 5 websites that everyone sees right now, we'd say, let's say Google, eBay, Amazon, MSN, Yahoo. Well, those 5 websites look nothing like what the underground world of internet marketing really is.
Yeah.
For example, I mean, there's a person right now, he sells a book on how to get 6-pack abs. Now, he makes over $500,000 a year off a single ebook on how to get 6-pack abs. Now, he started off very small, and then it grew and grew and grew from there. But there's a lot of case studies. There's another one called a book that teaches people how to lose weight. And they sell a product now for $37, I think it is. And that website's doing over $1 million a year just on how to lose weight and on diets.
Wow.
So a lot of people want to know how to do different things. And it might be, there's a lady, she is very interesting because this old lady, I say old lady is probably a derogatory term, but she is an older lady.
Mature lady, we'll say. Yeah.
A mature, I like that.
Mature,
a mature lady. But this mature lady, I
think it's important because a lot of people out there think I'm either too young or it's
You're right.
a lot of cases too old. Well, it's the young people know how to use computers, but what about...
This lady is in her 70s.
Wow.
And she wrote a book on arthritis. And she's known as the arthritis lady. And she makes over $10,000 a month selling an ebook on helping people ease the pain of their arthritis.
$10,000 a month, and she's 70.
And she's 70 plus years old.
Wow.
So I mean, it just goes to show
that's inspiring. I think.
I mean, and on the opposite end of on the other end of the extreme, I had one student of mine. He started working with me when he was 13 years old. He was at a seminar that I was at in the middle of nowhere in Alabama in the U.S. And so it was literally country as far as the eye could see. And so he started working with me when he was 13. When he was 16, he was averaging $20,000 a month.
Wow.
And now what was great, he's got a great story, and I'll tell you why for a number of different reasons.
16 years of age.
16 years of age. He came in, His father came in and started working with me. His mother came into the business, and they started a business of videotaping and recording events that other people were doing. So they got a chance to see a lot of information from many, many different people. And so I worked with them over the years. And sadly enough, about 2 years ago now, his father passed away. He ultimately had cancer, passed away. Now, what's interesting about that is that his father and him and his mother had created an internet business. And because his father had passed away, that internet business literally took over as far as the mainstay of how they're able to build their income. And now his mother and him are part of my Platinum program, and they coach with me as far as me teaching them how to propel their business to the next step, and they're still growing it. But it was that internet business that allowed them to, just continue on like nothing ever changed. As far as business-wise, of
give
course.
them that financial security.
But they had that financial security behind them. And we're not talking them make millions of dollars or anything like that, but we're living very comfortable. And they have 3 other small children in the background while this is happening. They work from home, literally in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of what I call God's country. In Alabama, there's nothing around them for literally miles and miles, but yet they do an international business by recording other people's events literally over the phone and teleseminars and things like that.
I guess that's another thing that's exciting. A lot of people don't realize that generally to earn a high income, they might have to go to a city that's expensive to live in, to have a high paying job. But I guess what you're saying with an internet, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You could perhaps live somewhere that's inexpensive. Like in Australia, to live in, say, Sydney is twice the price as, say, to live in the Gold Coast. Or in the country, or it's even cheaper. So effectively what you're saying, people can live anywhere and have a full-time income.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't matter where you live nowadays on the internet. In fact, it doesn't matter where you live or if you really want to live anywhere, for that matter, because many people, I mean, such as myself, I mean, I'm here, we're in Sydney, Australia right now, and the fact is that my business is still going. It has no bearing on where I am. In fact, I go up to my hotel room and I work out of my hotel room, and nothing stops. It just continues to grow. And now we're in over 121 different countries selling products and services. And I can guarantee you, I don't speak 121 different languages. But our products are just sold in English, but yet, English is a big enough language that many people can understand no matter where they are. We have, oddly enough, a lot of people that we get customer support questions from in Spanish.
Wow.
And so we...
So I guess it's something that's very universal as well now.
Absolutely, because people want to know about the internet. I mean, the number one, here's the odd, real strange statistic. The number one place that people search the most for internet marketing is actually in Indonesia.
Wow.
And that's the number one place that they search for. Internet. They want to know about internet marketing. So a lot of the other countries that maybe aren't as technically advanced as, let's say, Australia or the US or the UK or even Singapore, they're wanting to get to that next range because they're starting to build an infrastructure in those companies. So what did that just do for everyone that had established themselves and are marketing products and services online already? It just opened it up. Because in places like Singapore, Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, those people speak multiple languages. So if you have a product that is of interest to them, and if they understand English, they'll buy your product. So every country that comes on board, we're just building a bigger and bigger marketplace for us to advertise our products to. And they still have the same problems. Trust me, these people still want to get rid of their acne. They still want to get rid of their arthritis. They still want to know how to knit or crochet,
so they want their problem solved.
Whatever it is that they want to know, they still want to know as well too.
So what's made you more successful? Perhaps you're one of the most successful internet marketers on the planet, and you have a large diversified range of, so it's not just one product or, So I guess you can make money from a lot of different products. You suggest that. But what's been the key tips that's made you outperform perhaps other people that haven't achieved the same level of success?
I would say it comes down to one thing, and that's consistency. Where we're always producing new products. We don't become complacent. We're always trying to produce a new product because one of the things I tell a lot of people, and you heard me say it earlier today actually, is you'll never get rich with only one website. And the internet is about a numbers game, where we want to test and try a lot of different markets, where many people will actually look to themselves and say, hey, I want to create a diet product. I know there's an opportunity in that diet market, but I'm not a diet expert. First of all, I'm definitely not a diet expert. But the fact is that I can hire someone or buy a product that someone has written the product in already, and I can buy the rights to that product. And when I buy the rights to that product, now I own it. So I can edit it, I can change it, I own the full rights to it. So I can go into a multitude of different markets. And to buy the rights to a product, where many times people are looking at licensing products and things of that nature, and that's a different story. But when because that can get quite expensive. I mean, I know you've licensed products from other people.
Absolutely.
And it can cost a significant amount of money. But when we buy a private label right to products on the internet, we can usually get them for $5 or $10.
Wow.
So my investment.
So effectively anyone, it's open to anyone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you go to Google right now and you type in private label products, you'll see private label things for like nutrition and skincare products and things of that nature, but you'll also see a large portion of products for digital products like ebooks and software and things of that nature. And we can go to these sites and we can literally buy the product right now for $5 or $10. And now we have the website, we can put it up online and we can test it. We can see, is this something that we can drive traffic to, or is this something that we need to learn more about? And if it proves to be a successful product, we might want to spend more time in that market and then maybe buy a second product to back that up. I mean, just recently, I know nothing about the stock market or trading shares or anything like that, but 2 weeks ago, for $397, this is a lot of money in comparison to the $5 or $10 that we just talked about, but I bought a 12 CD course on the stock market. Why? Because I knew there's an opportunity right now in the economy.
So you can buy the rights for that, so you don't even have to be the expert.
And it came with the website already done, written by a professional copywriter, and that's very inexpensive to get started. Now I have a 12 CD physical course that I can sell. It's all video of how someone can actually start trading in the stock market. And that's a great bargain. That was a steal for me. To buy a 12 CD physical course. They shipped to me in this big box.
It's all done. So a lot of people out there thinking, well, I don't have a product to sell, or how do I go about creating a product? And when you're effectively saying they don't need to.
They don't have to, absolutely not. They don't have to worry about that because chances are, oddly enough, is that their idea probably stinks. And here's the reason why. Many people fall in love with their idea. And that's not the way we need to think, because our idea may be great, and hopefully it is, but we may love the idea or become too close to the idea.
Become attached to it.
Exactly. We fall in love with the idea rather than the idea of marketing that idea. So what we're doing is we need to research first. We need to find out, is that idea viable to market? Does someone else want that idea?
So I guess what you're saying, you can do your homework first before you put your time and effort into a product that may or may not work.
Exactly.
And take the risk away.
I mean, for example, if you go to Google right now and you type in Google keyword tool, those exact words.
Google keyword tool.
Google keyword tool. And the first listing when you type that into Google will be this link to the Google keyword tool. Yeah. You go there and you can type in your idea, whether it be, man's guide to gardening. I mean, as an example, I don't know if there's a market. I assume there is, but who knows? So if we didn't know if there was a market or not, we could type this into Google. We go there, it will tell us how many people on average search on it on a yearly basis, on a monthly basis, and we can see the results right there. And if we see that there's quite a few people searching on this term, maybe this is something we could try to market. So we can do this research ahead of time to find out, is this product worth taking any more time to go forward with, or is it maybe just a bad idea? And we never really want to be the first person in the marketplace to come out with a so-called original idea. And we may later on, after we know a few things, it's okay, because everyone has an idea that's going to change the world. And that's great, and I applaud them for doing that. But initially, when we're first getting started, we don't want to put in time and energy into something that may not work. So we want to go with what everyone's done already. And the reason is because if no one's created a product in that market yet, that may mean that they tried previously and it just doesn't work, or no one wants to buy anything in that market.
Could be a reason for that.
So we don't want to be a pioneer just yet. But once we learn a few things, then we can be a pioneer, because we can now take a calculated risk and then go for the ideas that we have.
So you're literally saying people could start an internet career virtually while they're watching this. They could be taking notes and start to comment. It's not like something they have to do a 3-year study at university to learn to be able to generate income.
Here's the quick thing, 5 minutes. 5 minutes I can take a person from zero to making money on the internet.
That's exciting.
And here it is. Here, I'll give you the steps right now. Go to Google, type in private label products. Find one of the websites there that's selling a private label product. Now we buy the private label product, so it might cost us anywhere between $5 to as much as $50 if we're doing it in maybe getting 10 at a time. So now we have the private label product. Second thing we need is a domain name. So we can go to GoDaddy.com and we can buy a domain name for, let's say, $8 or so roughly. So now we got a domain name. Second thing we need is hosting account. Well, while you're at GoDaddy, you can also get a hosting account there for about $5 to $10. So now we've got a domain name, a hosting account. Now, again, we're not technical, so we don't know anything. So we need to get someone to take our website that we got with a private label product and upload it to our hosting account. So now we go to Rent-A-Coder, and we're going to hire some geek
that knows all that stuff that most of us have no idea about.
Exactly. We're going to hire them and say, we want this website taken and put it up on this, we want the website over here on our computer uploaded and put on our hosting account. So now we've got our website on our hosting account, and we need to change one thing, the payment information. So we need to get a way to take payments. We have two options. Number one, we can go to clickbank.com, get an account there. It'll cost us about $47 or so, $49 I think it is. That's a one-time cost. And in 24 hours, we'll be able to take credit cards. Or number two, go to paypal.com and create a PayPal account, and now we can take credit cards with our PayPal account. So now the last step is to actually drive traffic to that site. So we have a website up, we're selling a product, and we're taking payments online. So in all reality, we have a fully functioning website. The last step is to actually market that product. So now, here's a simple method.
I imagine that's probably the most critical step, would you say?
Absolutely the most critical step, because if you don't know how to market a product, it's like having a billboard in the middle of a desert. You can put anything you want on the billboard, but no one's going to see it.
Yeah.
So
it makes sense.
So what we need to do is we need to look at historically. There's two words I think everyone that's watching right now should write down. It's called historical evidence. And historical evidence says one thing is, how did this work historically? And the internet is all about history, believe it or not. And if you understand how the internet started and how it works today, it really hasn't changed. And what I mean is that when you go to Google and you're searching for something on Google, what are you looking for? You're not looking for really videos. You're not looking for audios. You're looking for articles. Okay. So the internet was built and still is being built by a series of articles on various websites, whether that be on a blog website or an article directory or wherever it may be, but it's built on articles on information.
Information, yeah.
So let's say this product that we just bought and we created this website on was on dieting. What I'm going to want to do at this particular point is write or find or buy several articles on dieting. Various aspects of dieting. If I can write them myself, great. But chances are I'm going to tell you, don't do it. And the reason why I'm going to tell you that is because you are going to take too much time writing those articles. So I'd recommend that you buy the articles. And we can go to a place like, if you go to digitalpoint.com.
Digitalpoint.com.
Actually, forums.digitalpoint.com. You're going to see it's a message board. And you scroll down the page, and there's going to be a category called business. And it's going to be buy, sell, or trade. And underneath that category, there's going to be one link that says content. You go there, and you'll see people selling articles on a variety of subjects.
Topics.
So what we're going to do is we're going to post a response saying, I'm looking for articles on dieting. And you'll find people that will give you articles for maybe $2, $3 each.
Wow.
So we can buy full-fledged articles. They're all original articles that we can buy for $2, $3 each. Or they'll have articles that we can buy resale rights on that maybe aren't original necessarily. So what we can do is we can take these articles now. We want to get at least 30 to 90 articles.
Wow, yep.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to a couple different websites, and we're going to start off with something very simple. First of all, we'll start off with a free one. We'll go to ezinearticles.com. It's one of the biggest article directories on the internet. And we're going to create an account as an author, and we're going to submit our article.
You submit the article, okay.
And at the bottom of the article, we're just going to put, if you'd like more information about dieting or whatever form of dieting that you happen to be advertising your product with, click this link, and it's going to be a direct link back to our website.
I see.
So now if the person liked the article, they're going to look at the bottom saying, hey, I do like what they said here. Let me click to see what else they have.
So you're putting valuable content out there about the topic, and people click back, driving traffic back to your site.
Exactly.
Wow.
So now the step is to do this 90 days in a row. That's why I said 30 to 90 articles. Every single day, we're going to post a new article on ezinearticles.com. That may be one place. Or what we can do is we can automate this. And for about $47 a month, I believe it is, if you go to articlemarketer.com, or a second website would be submityourarticles.com, you can go there and pre-program one article to be blasted out to a lot of article directories. at the same time.
So you can automate
Yeah, so every day your article may be posted to not just one, but maybe 2,000, 3,000,
Wow.
4,000 article directories. So now it just kind of builds up every day. We got a new article, a new article, a new article. So what's happening is we're building this, well, for lack of a better word, net of articles in various places where people could possibly find us. And now that's going to build
Drive traffic back to-
and it's driving traffic back
That's
to our
gold.
site.
That's-
And so that's, I mean, that's the short 5-minute plan, really,
I
for
hope
getting started
people
on the
have been
internet.
taking a lot of notes, because I think that is incredible steps, practical steps. A lot
Very
of people
simple.
talk about something's possible, but actually breaking it down in a short period of time. So
Right.
That's invaluable. I wish I had known that when I was first starting my internet career.
Right.
So, it's
I
been
wish
great.
I did too.
Yeah, that certainly helps, I guess, having mentors and role models, which certainly would have made a big difference to your career as well. And so thanks for sharing with us, Armin. It's been
Thank
a pleasure.
you. Sounds great.
And for those who want to learn out more about the internet, I encourage you to learn more from people such as Armand and other internet experts that are available at 21st Century's Internet and Business Mastery seminars or on the Home Study. It's been great chatting to you. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.